I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Stay tuned. Yes. Okay, there's a locker on this side. Now, if I spin that side, something has to spin here, right? I don't know. I'm so confused. I think I'm on to something. I think this must be the front end. This must be the bottom of the case. Look at that. The numbers are upside down. Why did I think this was the bottom? Because I'm stupid. Because I'm simple. Because I didn't graduate from regular school. I don't know. Okay, I'm now convinced I've got it upside down. What I've just done is lock the front end in. Now I need to go take the top of this, I'm going to spin it over. I'm going to take that side apart and do what I just did here over there. I'm going to lock that side in. And then we'll see if I've got drive and four-wheel drive. And then, of course, we still haven't figured out high-low. Might not have high-low. Maybe this is just a big waste of time. It can't be. I'm going to learn some stuff, and I'm going to open a filing cabinet up here in my brain. I'm going to shove it all in there. I'm going to close the filing cabinet, walk away. And this thing will go back under the shelf, and when I open the cabinet again 10 years from now, I won't remember any of it. Transfer case. Which one's the top? Which one's the bottom? I should write it on there as soon as I figured it out. All right, here we go. Let's leave this flange off. Let's leave that locker in. Let's turn this big heavy sucker over and then begin the process of taking that flange off. Oh, this is a heavy, heavy piece of steel. But I think that means we won't break it. Now here's something else, but that's nothing to do with anything we're doing here. I don't know what that is. All right, let's see if I can lift it. Can I lift my transfer case? No, I can't. No way. Ah! I can flip it over, maybe. Now, I suppose this could be the top. Go ahead and level out the ground underneath. And we will begin deflanging process. Does it look like the top? Yeah, why not? Why can't it be the top? This could definitely be the top, and that could be the bottom. So let's go ahead and pull this apart now. We've got to pull this flange off, and they've got the nut crimped on. And I've not been able to get one off without heat yet, and a lot of heat at that. I've got to heat this nut until the whole thing is cherry red, and then it still doesn't even want to come off. I'm going to put a pipe wrench on it. Then I'm going to get my torch fired up and give this baby some heat. At least I've got a plan again. So I'm going to mark this flange right here. Okay, then I'm going to mark this one right here. They're both at the top. Now I'll turn that top flange one turn, and we'll see what happens with the bottom flange. So right now, that bottom flange is at 1 to 1. Oh, we got a zip tie holding us up. We got a zip tie situation down here. Come on, zip tie. That could go both ways. It could end up just getting shoved back under the shelf with a broken piece of round stock stuck in it. I don't know what I got involved in, but it's not, I think I stuck it in like a Chinese, I think I found the spring-loaded thing and I jammed it in past it, and now it's stuck in there like a Chinese finger trap. Oh no, that's not good. I gotta tear this whole thing down now. All I had to do was find it and then build something to push on it. And I just pushed this sucker straight past it. It's exactly what I did. Okay, here it comes. Maybe not. Just wiggle it. Don't break it. If I break it, I'm fucked. Come on. Just a little wiggle, wiggle, turn, turn, wiggle, wiggle, turn, turn, pull. It doesn't make... I feel something kind of like spring-loaded there. That's got to be the door. And I think I pushed on it. I put my finger in there just like a finger trap. And now I'm stuck. Your nickname was Finger Trap.
Oh, yes, it was, but I was in high school, and it was fun, okay?
But Amy, I love you. Your nickname was really Finger Trap.
Yeah, just get over it, okay? It was fun. Nah.
All right, I'll marry you. Come on. Well, I don't know what I did. I turned my transfer case into an anchor. Welcome back to my transfer case story. After about 6 hours of fidgeting with this transfer case, I've realized... Well, okay, rewind. I've been fidgeting with my transfer case for a good bit of time now. And one of the things I learned, actually, when we left off yesterday, I had decided that I had it upside down. I turned it over. I figured out how to lock it with two sides turning. I was having trouble with the high-low. I went home frustrated, and I found a company in Canada that did a real nice thing, and they made it so that you can use your airlines. What did they do? Okay. I went home frustrated last night, basically feeling like I'd learned nothing on how to get the high-low to work in this thing. Remember, I want to make it manual. I found a guy that went through the trouble of making a kit for you that comes with a switch panel and solenoids. Doesn't come with onboard air. You got to still supply the air yourself. But he has all the switches figured out so you can use the electronic sensors on this and use all of the air lockers. And that's very nice, but it was like $1,200 for the kit without the air compressor, and that still leaves me where I didn't want to be, spending about $2,000 on an air system and controllers and solenoids and switches, a bunch of unnecessary stuff. I want this thing to just work. I want to be able to pull a lever and have it in low range. I want to be able to pull a lever and put it in two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Came back out here frustrated. The only thing I did learn on the internet was that I was right to begin with, and this is the top. So this is the top. What confused me is that sometimes you get a freewheel down below where you can either turn one or the other. What I didn't understand is that this thing has an all-wheel drive feature. So it's like a limited slip rear end, and sometimes it'll turn the front end, sometimes it'll turn the rear end, but I do believe it'll still have two-wheel drive at some point. Either way, you're going to have locking hubs in the front, and it's going to be okay. I'm going to make the four-wheel drive disengage, and now, after I accidentally put some air pressure to it with the cap off and put a couple of holes in my knuckles, basically shot myself in the hand with 150 PSI behind a piston. Aside from that, I did figure out that I can make a mechanical linkage now for my high-low. I figured out how it goes in and out. So, I took the whole piston air locker assembly apart here for the high-low, and I've made it so I can push it in and out by hand, engage in high gear, engage in low gear. So now what I want to do is take this old go-kart roll cage here, this piece of a go-kart roll cage with this flattened flange, and I want to turn it into a shifter linkage. I'm going to bevel the inside of this, I'm going to spread it out, I'm going to heat it and spread it so this nut will fit in it. I'm going to weld the nut that goes on that shaft right to it, and then this will go through my case and thread onto the shaft. And I'm going to drill a hole in the outer case and have this so you can pull it with a mechanical linkage inside the cab. The only issue I foresee is that I do believe this got oiled, which I don't totally understand why they would have oil splashing in here. If it's an air locker, I would think that would, you would be putting air pressure into, see the tunnel here that I was putting my round stock in, my finger trap here. I was thinking that was the linkage because there's a passageway, and I thought it was an air passageway for air to get in there and push it into low range. I didn't realize that piston rode on the shaft, because when I tried to move it yesterday, I couldn't get it to move. But when I put air pressure to this, I realized after I shot myself in the hand with the piston that it comes out that way. The shaft, this is the shaft that engages and disengages low and high range. Now, that being discovered, I've decided that this tunnel that I was thinking was the air engage is an oiler to oil this shaft and these pistons, but I don't totally understand how that works with the air. I guess you just get oil in your air and you get air in your oil? I'm not sure. Either way, there's oil in there, so I'm going to have to figure out, once I drill a hole in this cap and I have my shaft sliding in and out, I'm assuming that's going to be an oil leak, so I need to figure out how to get an oil seal in there, which probably won't be that complicated, or maybe it will be very complicated for me. I don't know. This is because it's not steel. I can't weld to it. Need my aluminum welder. Well, maybe I got to do a little welding on it. Hopefully it's aluminum. Don't know what it is. Some cheap light metal. Probably aluminum. Okay, that's the only problem I foresee, is that I'm going to have an oil leak. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this sealed. But now that I know how it works, I think I can make it work manually. I'm dead set on putting this transfer case in the truck. It's badass. It's bulletproof. It's heavy as fuck. It's going to be okay. All right. I might need to receive some medical attention inside now. I'll see you soon. You just hang out. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna build this thing, make it work.